Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. Today is March 31st, 2022. The time is now 2:03 p.m. We are here today for our weekly commission business meeting. Before we get started, please join me in a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioners Williams, J. Williams, C. Williams, Commissioner Powers, and Vice Chair Belzer. Joining us virtually, we have Commissioners Urban, Caston, and Thomas. Attorney Butler, if you would please read the agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission. The first order of business would be to set the next regular commission business meeting, and staff would propose Thursday, April 7th, 2022 at 2 p.m.
All right, the next business meeting will be Thursday, April 7th at 2 p.m. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving into our utilities agenda today, item number one consists of three docket and non-docketed items. They are docket number 2005-83A, ND 2021-39EG, and ND 2021-40G. Before the commission today is consideration of the approval of public information notice templates.
All right, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission adopt and approve the public information notice templates for use by the Public Information Director.
All right, hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you. The docket title for this item really gives you no substance regarding this motion. The motion is about getting accurate information out to the media about Public Service Commission opportunities such as allowable ex parte briefings, customer hearings, application and public hearings. Good quality information about these opportunities is important to the work of the Public Service Commission, consumers, interested persons, and the utilities in our state. Last year, the Commission identified a need to create a standardized form and format for developing media notices. We created a public information working group. They drafted public information notice templates for three distinct notices, as well as a standard protocol. Those drafts were reviewed by the Public Service Commission Advisory Committee, from which we received helpful feedback. Amendments were made to the templates, and the templates that you have today are those for your consideration. The process is simple. The Commission will start the initiative by determining whether the public notice is needed through a Commission vote. The process includes the opportunity for any party in a docket to comment on the draft PIN, as we call them, for public information notice. The templates will facilitate the work of our Public Information Director to offer timely and accurate information notices to the media, to ratepayers, and all interested parties who need context for the Commission's opportunities for meaningful input. I recommend the PINs, as we call them, to you as an example reflecting the PSC's desire for efficient as well as effective communication about opportunities scheduled by the PSC for the benefit of all. And before I give up the mic, I just want to say thank you to the Public Information Working Group as well as the PSC Advisory Committee for their most helpful input. It's really been a great collaborative opportunity. Thank you, Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Williams, I just want to say I applaud your work in furthering the Commission's desire to have effective communication to all stakeholders. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, if there's no further discussion, we will vote starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, item numbers 2 and 3 may be taken together, and staff would recommend this procedure. They're both from docket number 2021-291A, which is a generic docket to study and review pre-file rebuttal and surrebuttal testimony in hearings and related matters. Before the commission today are two petitions for reconsideration. One is also a petition for clarification of order number 2022-58.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. I'm going to pass the gavel to Vice Chair Belzer.
Thank you, Chairman Williams. Commissioners, you've heard the matter described by Mr. Butler. Is there a motion?
Vice Chair Belzer, may I be recognized?
Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Fellow Commissioners, I move that the Commission grant the ORS and nonprofit interveners motion for reconsideration due to the potential time constraints and possible unforeseen problems that could arise by requiring parties to file a motion for surrebuttal. I note that the need for surrebuttal depends on the facts and circumstances that arise in each case, and that the Commission has the discretion to determine on a case-by-case basis whether or not surrebuttal is required. This motion does not adopt the party's position that surrebuttal is an absolute right, but it does remove the requirement for the filing of a motion. So moved.
Thank you, Chairman Williams. Commissioners, you've heard the motion. Is there any discussion or questions?
Madam Vice Chair,
Commissioner Powers, excuse me.
thank you very much. Commissioner Williams, I am going to vote with your motions, but would like to just point out a few things that originally brought these thoughts around about some control in this situation. Surrebuttal is not a matter of right. I think it's something that is discretionary with us. And I feel like there have been some instances where I felt it wasn't necessary and repetitive and not just wasn't serving the commission in any way. I realized I just felt like some of it was retestimony that you don't agree with what somebody else said. And we understand that, particularly in light of the fact that we have pre-filed testimony. I hope the parties in the future will be very efficient with what they present to us, that they present things, I think, earlier with the pre-filings and get to the points that are important. It's my understanding that by not denying the motion and going forward and having some reconsideration, that if in the future we find that the surrebuttal is not being properly used or is of no benefit in particular cases, that we have a right to revisit this issue. Would that be correct, Mr. Chairman?
That's absolutely correct, Commissioner Powers. I believe that the Commission has the ability to determine whether or not surrebuttal is appropriate, and there's nothing that I've seen that removes that discretion.
Thank you, sir.
Any further questions or discussion?
Commissioner
Chair
Powers.
Bilson.
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to support your motion granting reconsideration, Mr. Chair. As we all know, there's always been a historic practice, at least for the last 2 decades and perhaps even longer, for the Public Service Commission to set a deadline for pre-file surrebuttal testimony. Now, we had adopted this motion I have several concerns. This new procedure would be very time consuming, and Office of Regulatory staff and the interveners have pointed out that it would unnecessarily complicate hearings and perhaps drag them on a month or more beyond what we now see with these contested hearings. The motion, had it been adopted, is also inconsistent with Commission Regulation 103.842B, which ORS correctly points out in their motion for reconsideration. It gives ORS the right to go last And if we adopted this proposed motion, they would no longer have the right to go last in the proceedings. Since they've been entrusted with protecting the public interest, I would like to see them retain the right to go last if they choose to do so. The other concern I have is it's really can be used, if we're adopted, it could be used to further uneven the playing field for the parties. And, you know, we don't have any requirements right now about what should be in an application. As we have seen in the past, all the supporting facts and inputs are often left out of the application. So that makes it even more important to have rebuttal testimony once the direct and cross-examination have been completed. Otherwise, we have an incomplete record. And finally, had we adopted this particular motion today, in my opinion, it violates a rule in our case law that says a binding norm requires that the matter go to rulemaking, which means we'd have to submit a regulation to the General Assembly, and only after public notice and approval by the General Assembly would such a permanent norm be made a part of our rules. So I think if we had adopted it today, we'd be violating that provision as well. So for all these reasons, and particularly the time constraints, because ORS and the interveners said they simply can't do it given the tight time constraints that we already have. They have a difficult job as it is, and had we adopted this motion, it would have made it even more difficult. For all those reasons, I'm pleased that, Mr. Chair, you have agreed to move to grant reconsideration and rescind the prior order that was entered in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Chair Williams, I think you had asked to speak.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Fellow commissioners, I can't say that I agree with every position taken by the parties in their motion for reconsideration, but I can say that based on my experience on the commission, the matters that are litigated here are time-consuming and have become more and more complex. And the last thing that I want to do is to put a procedure in place that would make it difficult for parties, especially the Office of Regulatory Staff, which is charged with protecting the public interest, makes it more difficult for them to try their case. I agree that surrebuttal is discretionary. I do not think it's absolute right. I also think it's worth further investigation as to why surrebuttal is necessary, because I think our regulations contemplate that no new issues would be raised on rebuttal, which would, if that were the case, there wouldn't be a need for surrebuttal. So obviously, there's more investigation that needs to take place to establish what is happening in our cases that requires surrebuttal to be a norm. I can't say at this point with any level of certainty the reasons for that. When we're talking about time constraints, we know that due to the complexities of the cases that appear before us, time is a big issue. I think that this commission has held parties that have appeared before us to a high standard, and I think the same standard should be used in issues that we have the control over. So when it comes to timeliness, I think we need to be considerate of the time needed to try the case, as we ask for others to be considerate with us, as we take time to draft our orders and perform other commission functions. So all that to say that I appreciate the motions from the Office of Regulatory Staff and the nonprofit interveners. there's nothing wrong with reconsidering a decision. I reconsider decisions I make all the time, and so I appreciate the advocacy offered in the memoranda presented by the Office of Regulatory Staff and in the nonprofit interveners memo as well. I think that Commissioner Powers demonstrated a lot of leadership in identifying an issue and attempting to provide a solution to that issue. And I think that his original motion was spot on in principle. I think the issues arise when it comes to practice. How do we put those principled ideas into practice and create an environment that allows a fair playing field and doesn't put undue pressure or constraint on the parties that appear before the commission. And I'm sure there'll be more to follow on those matters. So that's all I have, Vice Chair Belzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Any further discussion?
Vice Chair Belcher.
Commissioner Caston.
I listened to all the comments made and generally agree with certainly most of what Chair Williams said. I too agree that I don't want to remotely do anything that would tilt the playing field one way or another. I don't think that's in anyone's interest or in anyone's intent. That said, it has seemed on more than one occasion that there just seems to be more a desire to have the last word. I understand that, but I too agree that it is at the commission's discretion. And as we move forward, we should consider things that will help us improve, whether that's, do things in a more timely fashion, what regulations need to be modified, if any. I too will support Chairman Williams' motion. And I also agree that this is still at commission discretion. It's should be treated as such. That's all I have. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Chairman Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion passes. Mr. Chairman, I return the gavel to you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Attorney Butler.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item number 4 on today's utilities agenda is docket number 2018-354G. For commission consideration today is a request for approval of Amendment 1 to a natural gas agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Owens Corning Sales, LLC.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move the commission approve Amendment 1 to the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Owens Corning Sales, LLC.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Commissioners, hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is under docket number 2021-363E. This is a case of Valley Finney complainant petitioner versus Duke Energy Progress, LLC, defendant respondent. Before the commission today for consideration is the petition for reconsideration by Duke Energy Progress of Commission Order Number 2022-160.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission grant reconsideration of Commission Order Number 2020-160, which denied the company's motion to dismiss. The company has provided additional information and clarification. The company, in its petition for reconsideration, made clear that the annual budget billing program is a replacement for the equal payment plan in name only. There is no difference between the two programs. Furthermore, no Duke Energy Progress customers who were previously registered for the equal payment plan were grandfathered, and all customers have been transitioned to the budget billing plan. Since the company has already taken action to re-enroll the complainant into the only existing year-based levelized payment plan, there is no further action that may be ordered. Therefore, the company's request for reconsideration of order number 2020-160 should be granted and the complaint dismissed. In addition, the company has sought confidential treatment of information provided in support of its request for reconsideration, which contain customer-specific account information associated with the complainant. The request for confidential treatment for the identified information should also be granted. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Chairman Williams, if I did not say 2020-160 each time, that is what I intended to say.
Okay. Thank you.
2022-160 each time is what I should have said.
All right. Thank you for that point of clarification.
Thank you.
Commissioner Williams, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is under docket number 2022-1-E, which is the annual review of base rates for fuel cost of Duke Energy Progress. At this time, before the commission is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of Michael K. Lavanga, Esquire, filed on behalf of Nucor Steel, South Carolina, which is a division of Nucor Corporation.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move the commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici of Michael K. Lavanga, Esquire, filed on behalf of Nucor Steel, South Carolina, a division of Nucor Corporation.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Commissioners, hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 7 is docket number 2022-93E and 2022-97E. We have 2 applications before the commission. One is for S.R. Lambert 1, one is for S.R. Lambert 2. These are citing procedures. Before the commission today is a request by the 2 companies in the Office of Regulatory Staff for commission approval of a consent procedural schedule.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. On March 15, 2022, the applicants and ORS presented for approval an alternate procedural schedule to the one initially set by notice dated March 14th from the Office of the Clerk. The applicants advised statutory parties, South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, South Carolina Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, that they and ORS agreed upon the following procedural schedule and process. With the hearing originally scheduled by the clerk's notice of filing and public hearing dated March 14th, 2022, to begin on May 9th, 2022, in docket number 2022-93-E, and on May 12th, 2022, in docket number 2022-97-E. ORS and the applicants propose to briefly convene both hearings on May 12th, 2022, with only counsel present and no witnesses, in order to satisfy the statutory requirement that the application proceedings be convened within 60 to 90 days of application filing. ORS and the applicants propose convening briefly for that purpose only, and then reconvening on July 18th for the full hearing with witnesses. ORS and the applicants also further propose the following consent procedural for pre-filed testimony and exhibits to replace that provided by the clerk's office. ORS and other parties direct testimony and exhibits, June 15th, 2022. Applicant rebuttal testimony and exhibits, June 29th, 2022. ORS and other parties surrebuttal testimony and exhibits, July 13th, 2022. The applicant report that they have not received any objection to this request. I move that the Commission provide that the hearing shall commence on May 12th, 2022 for both dockets as consolidated on March 24th, 2022 for hearing purposes only, with only counsel present and no witnesses. Whereas the hearing shall be scheduled to resume in July 2022. While the parties consent the hearing resuming on July 18th, 2022 due to a scheduling conflict, the Commission would like to resume the hearing beginning on July 11th, 2022 and continuing each day thereafter as needed. The parties are directed to consult with each other and then contact Chief Hearing Officer David Butler with an alternative procedural schedule for filing testimony and exhibits, and to advise if a beginning hearing date of July 11th, 2022 is agreeable. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
And Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, that does complete today's utilities agenda. And we're ready to move on to the motor carriers agenda. Staff would recommend that item numbers 1 through 4 be taken together. These are all for applications for Class C authority before the commission. And I'll review these briefly for the commission. Item number 1 is docket number 2022-102T, the application of Timothy Crawford, DBA Ritz Limousine for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 2 is docket number 2022-103T, which is the application of Timothy Crawford, DBA Ritz Limousine for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 3 is docket number 2022-108T, which is the application of White Sands Transportation LLC for a Class C charter certificate. And finally, number 4 is in docket number 2022-109T, which is the application of Movement Trucking and Logistics LLC, DBA Movement Medical Transport for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. Commissioners, hearing the items listed, is there a motion? Vice Chair Belzer.
Mr. Chairman, I move the commission approve the applications for Class C authority in items number 1 through 4 as listed by Mr. Butler.
Commissioners, hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is docket number 2002-59T. We have the request of Davis & Sons Charters LLC requesting cancellation of its Class C charter bus certificate number 0145A.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Powers, you have the floor, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the commission grant the request of Davis and Sons Charters LLC to cancel Class C charter bus certificate number 0145-A. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, commissioners, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, staff would recommend that the commission examine item numbers 6 and 7 together. These are requests for amendments of tariff on an expedited basis, and I'll review them briefly with the commission. Number 6 is docket number 2022-111T. This is the request of Gentlemen Movers Incorporated to amend its tariff on an expedited basis. Item 7 is the request of Minuteman Movers LLC to amend its tariff to include a fuel surcharge on an expedited request.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission carry the matters in items 6 and 7 over until we receive impact studies from ORS. As a result, the request for expedited review in both items numbers 6 and 7 would be denied. Once the commission receives impact studies from ORS on these items, the matters will be placed on the commission's agenda for action. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, item number 8 is under docket number 2021-141T. Staff is presenting for commission consideration the request of Dad Bod Moving LLC for approval of its revised tariff.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission instruct staff attorney David Stark hold a status conference as soon as possible with ORS and Dad Bod Moving LLC concerning whether the company completed the certification process and was issued a Class E certificate. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. I'm sorry?
Chairman Williams, if I might just.
Yes,
point
sir.
out for clarification, at present, the staff has had difficulty determining whether the certificate was ever issued for this company. So that is why I'm making the motion.
Understood. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, moving on to item number 9 on the motor carrier agenda. Number 9 consists of 2 items, docket number 2022-46T, docket number 1994-354T. And before the commission today is a request from Complete Charleston Tours LLC for a waiver of placarding requirements under Commission Regulation 103-153.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, the floor is yours.
I move that the commission deny the request for waiver of placarding requirements under Regulation 103-153. Since the applicant has not given a reason as to why the waiver should be granted, Commission may consider the matter again at a future business meeting if the applicant provides reasons for the proposed waiver of the placarding requirements. I so move.
Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 10, again, consists of two matters or two docket numbers. First is docket number 2022-30-T and also docket number 1994-354-T. There is a request to amend the Class C Charter Certificate number 9652 to reflect 15 passengers, and in addition, a request for waiver of the placarding requirements under Regulation 103-153.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make another motion.
Commissioner Caston, the floor is yours, sir.
I move that the commission grant the request of East Coast Transportation Services, LLC, to amend its Class C Charter Certificate number 9652 to reflect 15 passengers. I further move that the commission deny the request for waiver of placarding requirements at this time. Should the applicant provide a further explanation for the waiver, the commission may consider the matter again at a future business meeting. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, item number 11 is under docket number 2021-383T. Before the commission today is for consideration is a request of Bluffton Medical Transport, LLC, for an additional 6 months to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Bluffton Medical Transport, LLC, for an additional 6 months to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes, Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is docket number 2021-162T. We have a request from Rodney McMillan, DBA and Party Time ENT, for an extension of time until September 12th, 2022 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission grant the request of Rodney McMillan, doing business as and Party Time ENT, for an extension until June the 2nd, 2022, which is the 1-year anniversary date of the order granting authority. After that date, if the applicant is not in compliance with commission rules and regulations, he must file a new application. So moved.
Commissioners, hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 13 is docket number 2021-354T. We have before the commission today the request of Loop Carts LLC for a 30-day extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer, you have the floor.
I move the commission grant the request of Loop Carts LLC for a 30-day extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Commissioners, hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, that does complete the motor carrier agenda for today, and indeed all the agendas before the commission today for business. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Butler, fellow commissioners, and commission staff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We are now adjourned.